Henshaw here again, your friendly local constitutional coop, California. And just to follow up on what I've been talking about, the right to abortion. And there is one. I'm not personally in love with it, but that's not an issue here because you either have it or you don't. And with these de facto governments in power that don't have anybody's consent, especially with non existent elections, you're free to do what you want and you'll have to answer for it later in an ecclesiastical court of conscience. And that's the way it should be. But on this subject, look out because if somehow Sacramento Shamala Harris steals this election, now Congress is going to think that it has power to do a lot of things in the area of abortion. And they could, for example, pass a law that anybody that graduates high school with less than a 3.0 GPA is unfit to be a parent, and we're going to take care of it so you ain't going to be one. And there's law on this, by the way, as Carrie Buck would know, the case of Buck v. Bell, 274 U.S. 200, where Oliver Swindle Home ruled for what looks like a unanimous court and denied her claims because she was in a facility for crazy people back in the day, 100 odd years ago. And her mom was quote unquote crazy. Her grandmother was quote unquote crazy. So they get a hold of her about the age of 14 and said, we have to do an appendectomy. That's not what they did. They took care of business, and she didn't find out about it until she got out and got married years later and couldn't have any kids. And she sued everybody in sight. Case reaches the U.S. Supreme Court, and Oliver Swindle Holmes from Massachusetts rules against her on the grounds, and this is verbatim, 3 generations of imbeciles are enough. To which I reply today, if that's true, how the hell did Joe Biden get here? But that said, Congress thinks it has this kind of power, which wouldn't exist in sovereign, independent states if we had any. And as you'll learn from getting my constitutional defense document packet, modestly priced, send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com. There haven't been any sovereign, independent states in existence since 1860. So what we have now are federal insular territorial possessions in which Congress apparently has exclusive control along with the president acting as commander-in-chief of the armed forces, and they think they can do these sorts of things. And that's the way it is. And another factor coming into play in this particular area, artificial intelligence. And in my view, since we don't have any lawful elections anyway, rural truth and advertising would be good here. Just set these artificial intelligence things up in every department of government. Doesn't matter. Replace the Supreme Court. Get rid of the 9 old parts. AI much more efficient, can work 24/7, no vacations, no salary, no nothing. They can convict a whole hell of a lot of people a lot faster than these black robe bastards can do. And they will think they can do it. And with AI coming on and all the jobs disappearing, especially from McDonald's and places like that, and a lot more across the board, kids born today aren't going to have much of a life to look forward to. I mean, I'm damn glad to be in the generation I am, baby boomer. Nowadays, and again, it's getting so bad, Congress could literally pass a law and saying, okay, since the situation is what it is and the kids aren't going to have any lives, we're going to enact a federal law making giving childbirth felony child abuse. And it ain't going to be repeated. This is where this is headed. Whether the Democrats understand it, I don't know. And I hope the nation and republic can continue. I've devoted 40 years of my life, the last 20, almost virtually solely, almost 24/7 every day to getting it back. And I still hope we can do that. To find out more about how that works, send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com. But this is where we're headed, and all of it's very ugly. None of it needs to happen. The justices on the Supreme Court not only know it, but they're sounding more and more exactly like me, heading into the fifth term of a long overdue all-out assault on the administrative state. So we do have the opportunity to do things. How the future is going to play out, anybody's guess. But if we get back to our federated Republican form of government of defined and limited powers, we can make the best of whatever future circumstances, may arise. And that's all we can ask at this point. So like I said, remember to subscribe. Tell your friends, send me an email for information about my document packets, unincourt@gmail.com, and we'll get together and see if we can make this work across the board. And with the help of those current 9-0 parks, going to have our backs and sounding more and more exactly like me with every passing term. There's a lot to be said for working hard here, which I've been doing, and to help you invoke rights, creator endowed inalienable rights secured by the Constitution. That said, remember to tell your friends, get the word out, and we can go from there. Thank you.